Coding Guideline 1C20A3. Use the full range of external cause codes to completely describe the cause, the intent, the place of occurrence, and, if applicable, the activity of the patient at the time of the event, and the patient's status for all injuries and other health conditions due to an external cause. So let's look at an example of how to apply this guideline. This is the initial encounter for frostbite, right, second, and third toes due to prolonged exposure in a deep freeze unit. The patient was mopping the floor in the back room of the supermarket where he works when he accidentally locked himself in the freezer. All right, so for this scenario, we will first code the injury, which is frostbite. And so we want to be in the main index under the main term frostbite. And then we'll look for the subterm toes. We come up with T33.83, and we go to the tabular, and we see that we're going to need to choose a sixth character of 1, 2, or 9. And the difference here is whether it's the right toes, the left toes, or unspecified toes. And since the scenario says it was the right, second, and third toes, we'll choose T33, 831, and now we need to add a seventh character, A, D, or S. And since this is the initial encounter, we will choose T33, 831A. All right, so that takes care of the injury. Now we can add our external cause codes. The first thing we want to do is say how this frostbite happened. What was the cause? And so we need to be in the external cause index, and we're going to look for the main term exposure. The subterm then is cold, and we want to say it was due to, our connecting term due to, and then man-made conditions. Because the deep freeze is not the same as a natural condition like a blizzard, so we specify that as a man-made condition. And then the last subterm we need is refrigeration unit. So following this path, and you'll see a non-essential modifier here for deep freeze, we're coming up with the code W93.2. So we go to the tabular with this one, and here it is. We see that we're going to need a seventh character, A, D, or S. This is the initial, so we're going to choose W93.2XXA. All right, so that tells us how the event happened. Now we're going to look for three more external cause codes: the place, the activity, and the status. So for the place, we use the main term place of occurrence, and then our subterm will be grocery. He did this in a supermarket or grocery store. So we come up with Y92.512, and when we check the tabular, that is a complete code, so we're good. The next thing we want to do is indicate that at the time of the injury he was mopping. So that will require us to use the main term activity and then mop, or mopping. And we come up with Y93E5. Checking the tabular again, we see that that's a complete code. So we continue now with the status code under the main term status in the external cause code index. And when we do that, we can do civilian activity. And you'll see a couple of choices here. They go to the same code. They mean the same thing. Civilian activity done for financial or other compensation. Civilian activity done for income or pay. Since he was on the job, we're going to select this external cause code for the status. So Y99.0 is our fourth external cause code. So you want to usually put the cause first, and then if you have information about the place, activity, and status, those would go at the end. And that is it for Coding Guideline 1C20A3.